Hi. So, this is my brain when I have a plan for how I want my day to go. This is my brain when I don't have a plan. And if you're somebody that this happens too often, then maybe you need to watch this video to the end. Hi and welcome. If you're new here, my name is Sharifa and you're welcome to stay. I know by now you've read the title and you know what I'm going to talk about. And this is me planning a routine for Ramadan, right? And how I planned the routine for Ramadan. It's the month of Ramadan if you are not aware. Now, if you see me looking down here, it's because I have my tablet with me and I have my notes on it. So just excuse me for a second. Now, for the longest time, I've hated routines. I've just despised routines. I felt like it made my life feel like I was walking in a straight path. There were no branches. I felt like it was boring and it dimmed my creative light. But as I read and watched people's lives with routine, how organized it was with routines, I realized that it rather gave them the freedom and the space to be creative because they've already planned how they would do the specific things that should be done in any day. And then now they have so much time to execute the things that they want to execute as outside of the normal daily activities. Now, I am no guru when it comes to productivity. In fact, I'm a baby. I'm a baby. I'm not taking baby steps when it comes to productivity. We have the kings and the queens of productivity, and they are all over the internet. You can see them. You can check out Ali Abdal's channel. I love Ali Abdal. His channel is amazing. It's an amazing platform for um productivity. That's what I meant to say. All right. So I know you're seeing the change. I'm not wearing the same thing I was wearing the time I was filming, and that's because I filmed a whole 10-minute video only to realize that my microphone was off. And I didn't have time to film it that day because I had other plans. But now I'm filming this video, so hi and welcome back again. All right. Picking up from where I left off, I was talking about how I'm not a guru at productivity, and there are amazing people out there like Ali Abdal and the rest that have gotten to a certain level of productivity that we can appreciate their level of discipline. Yeah. So now going back to building my routine, I built my routine entirely off of another creator's video, and she's called Janet. So I'll put her video somewhere on the screen so you can check her channel out. I am not going to try and mention her last name because I do not want to butcher it. All right, so I took most of the, not most, everything from Janet's video. I followed her step and I added the last step of mine. So I'm breaking this routine into four parts. And the first part of building the routine was to list my non negotiables. And for me, my non negotiables were my sleep time, my work hours, my eating hours, and then the time that I get off work. So these are things that I cannot negotiate when it comes to building my routine. And it has to be very, like, those are the things that will come first. I cannot negotiate these times, and that is that. So for my wake up, my sleep time, if I know the number of hours that I want to sleep, I can set a specific sleep time. So for Ramadan, I need to wake up early to eat before Fajr time. And for where I am, my Fajr time is at 4:53. So I need to wake up at least more than 30 minutes before to eat. So anytime that I sleep, to get 6 hours of sleep by 4 a.m., at least by 4 a.m., it's acceptable. So 9:30, 10:30, I'm still deciding, but my sleep pattern is a bit, we are just starting Ramadan, so I don't have a consistent sleep pattern, but latest by 10 p.m. I should be asleep, but I prefer going lower. So I think I need to be more disciplined about that one. Yeah. The next one is my work hours. I cannot negotiate on my work hours. It starts from 8 to 5, Monday to Friday. But on Mondays and Wednesdays, I get to leave off. I get to leave work from anywhere between 1:30 to 3:30. I get to leave work. But that's besides the point. From 8 to 5 is my work time. So whatever I do in between 8 to 5, is planned out, like it's work. You get that? Lovely. The next thing is my eating time. And for Ramadan, I don't have any eating time other than when I wake up early in the morning at 4. And then when I am breaking my fast, so iftar. Those are the only two eating times I have now for the month of Ramadan. The next thing is my getting off work. So I said I close from 8 to 5. I cannot stay anytime after 5. I have to leave by 5 p.m., especially on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I cannot wait any time other than that, else it will be going into my prayer times. The last thing is my prayer time, and I cannot negotiate on my prayer time. So 4:45 early in the morning, 12:10 thereabouts for the second prayer, third prayer around 3, the next prayer around 6, and the last prayer around 7. For Ramadan, there are more prayers that are added. So that is that. Now, the second part of building the routine was to list out my priorities. For my priorities, I chose three things to be my priority. Work is a priority. The courses that I'm taking to expand my knowledge is also a priority. And content creation as well, it has become a priority. So those are things that I need to consider outside of my non-negotiables to add to it. And when it comes to work, I'm not talking about like the work time. What I do during the work time now has become a priority because I need to mark, I need to grade, I need to learn as well because I have office hours. So that's all a priority. And then when it comes to content creation, creating content for YouTube, creating content for TikTok or the other platforms. Mainly, YouTube is my only content creation platform because the other ones are just a way to drive people to my channel, and that's just it. And then the courses that I'm taking, which I don't think I want to talk on this channel. Maybe we'll talk about this some other time. So yeah, now let's go to the third part. All right, the third part of the building a routine. What am I saying? The third part of building my routine has to do with behaviors that affect me or distract me from the routine. So I need to note those behaviors so that I can have ways around them so that they don't end up messing my routine and I don't execute anything. So the first behavior, what am I saying? The first behavior that distracts me when I get back from work, I don't do any work. So sometimes in my head, I'm like, I'm going to do this work after I get to my room, but I'm never going to do it. So I put plans after 5 and I never actually touch the work. So that is a behavior that I need to stop. It's going to distract me, making me put work after certain hours and I end up never touching them. So that's a behavior I need to note down. Number 2, when I get back from work and I go to my room, if the first step I take is to lie on my bed, I tend to be lazy to execute the other things I have planned after 5. So if I get to my room and I lie on my bed, wahala. Now, so the last thing on my list of behaviors that distract me is that I tend to think that I can do more than I actually can. So I will create my routine, or let's say example, I'll have a to-do list and I'll be like, then I'll wash and I'll cook and I'll clean and then I'll mark this and I'll take this course. Like I will put so much that I cannot do, knowing the time frame and how I work, my pace, the pace that I used to work. You get it? So that was a behavior to notice because it would distract me from listing the most important things and then working on them and putting a lot of time and effort into that one. Yeah. So that was something to note. So the last part of my routine was to note restrictions that I have. So this is not necessarily a behavior or a non-negotiable, but then this ties into a point that I mentioned with my non-negotiables, or say I have to the time I leave work. And that's because I have a restriction. And one of the restrictions, or the only restriction I've written down so far, is the fact that I have to pray Maghrib and Isha. So the last two prayers in the five daily prayers, right? I have to pray and break my fast. So I need to be out of here by 5 p.m., which I've already mentioned. So it's a restriction that the latest I can stay in school is by 5 p.m. So if I have anything to do, it allows me to schedule my things anywhere between 8 to 5 when I come to school. Anything I need to get done while I'm here, while I'm in on campus, I need to do it between 8 to 5. So that is that. So I use these four parts, broke it down, wrote everything that I needed, and I created a routine. And this is my current routine. And it is not total, it's not the end. I will make it better as I go on. I will make it better based on my experiences throughout the days that we have in the month of Ramadan. So while I'm talking, when I started filming this video, it was before Ramadan started. So it was like a day before Ramadan or something like that. Was it? No, it wasn't. It was 3 days before Ramadan. So I'm filming this a week after, and I've had 4 days to experience Ramadan. And based on my experience, I noticed that the things that I say I would do at the time when I'm not doing that thing, I tend to be more optimistic. So, say I have to prepare food down and put it in the fridge for when I wake up at dawn. But then I tell myself, oh, I'll do it when I wake up, knowing very well that when I wake up, I'm sleepy. So I might as well cook the food and put it in the fridge so that when I wake up, I don't spend so much time trying to prepare the food. And that's something that I've noticed during in these 4 days of my 4 days of Ramadan, right? So that is also something that I'm noticing, and I'm changing my schedule as it goes on. So that is that. So I will keep on changing my routine based on experiences and how the month goes. But this is what I have, and I hope that it was helpful. And I know that I based this routine off of Ramadan. I based it on Ramadan. I based it on the month of Ramadan. But you can use this to prepare a basic routine for your life. Start small. Maybe start considering only your morning routine, and then as you go on, you introduce an evening routine and then a routine for the entire day as well. So start small. You don't have to have everything figured out on the first day. A routine is it's a lifestyle. All of this productivity, I think, is a lifestyle. You don't just become productive a day. You have to build the habit of being productive every day. And being able to be productive and using your time wisely has to do with getting used to it and making it a thing that you don't have to think too hard about before doing. Exactly. Another thing that I want to mention is that you don't have to follow a routine every single day. It will not work every single day, mainly because there are days where you'll be extremely tired. There are days where you handle tasks that are draining, and you'd have to gear off of gear. What's the word I'm looking for? You'd have to shift away from what you are currently supposed to do. And that's fine. Don't beat yourself down when you don't follow your routine A to Z. And be flexible. Change things. Make things work for you, because you are not working for the routine. The routine is supposed to work for you. So thank you so much for watching my video. I really, really do appreciate all the people that come back to watch my videos. And if this is your first time and you want to see my growth, my experiences in life, my journey through life as a clueless adult, please do subscribe and join the family. I really, really do appreciate every single one of you. I know that when I compare to other people's videos, say 100 views, or when excuse me, someone was trying to enter that song. That's fine. Anyway, so imagine that 200 people are watching you, like in person. That is mind blowing. That is crazy. So, yeah, I really do appreciate the 200, the 100 people that come to watch my videos. You are fantastic. Love. Bye bye.